I don't want to make a mistake. I really don't want to.
Rusty ass car 15 years from now.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Safari, and if you're new here, it's nice to meet you. If you hear any thundering or raining or something outside, it's about to rain, just like how it did in my last video. Today I will be doing my first episode of my college diaries, and I'll be telling you all about my college process and how, you know, I got to this point in my life. Basically, I'm gonna try to do this as quickly as possible and explain everything as quickly as possible, just in case my phone wants to, you know, do the whole out of storage thing. The first thing that I want to talk about is my school history, like my past school history, graduation, community college. So I, like everyone, well, not everyone, but most people, they go and they finish high school. I finished high school. I graduated in 2020. It was a very weird graduation. Honestly, it was a drive-through graduation, so you could only get 2 cars per person, and those cars were packed, if I'm being completely honest. My car consisted of my friend, my sister, my mom, and I'm pretty sure my dad, and me. You had to fit me in there. And then the second car that I had was my grandma, my other sister, my nephew, and I think there was somebody else. I'm pretty sure the second car was like packed. Like it was packed. Like it was a regular, small, average looking car. I had a graduation thing. They threw me one even though I didn't ask for one. And then I went on to community college straight out of high school, and I went to the one that was closest to my school. It was in the same city and everything. It was just like high school, honestly, except I got to pick when I went to class and when I left. I picked my own classes, I did all that, and I graduated from community college literally the next year, 2021. So I graduated early because I did college classes in college, and also I did 2 summer classes, and then the next year in 2021 I did summer classes then too, so I got to graduate early. That wasn't my plan, but that's how it happened, and I'm okay with it. During my last semester of school, I made the decision that I wanted to take some time off, like I wanted to do a gap year, and that I originally wanted to do like 6 months off. But when I calculated it, it would be, I think, either in the middle of a semester or something like that. So I was like, let me just not do that. Plus, I don't want to start in the spring semester. I want to be there at the beginning, like at the fall. And then, you know, that's how I was thinking of it. I didn't want to start my semester while everybody else was, you know, in their semester. That's how I chose to do it. So I just took a gap year off, and that was how I did that. I really wanted the 6 months just for like my mental health. That's why I chose 6 months, because I don't need a whole year. Because one, I don't really work through, it's really bad to say, but I don't really work through my problems. And if I'm being completely honest, I still haven't. But I am in a different mindset as I was from back then. I think the gap year helped me in some ways, and we'll get to that. But that was how I came to my decision, is basically I needed a break from school, because in 2019, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would have not been here, if you understand what I mean. I needed a break. I was so close. I was so glad in 2020, while everybody else was like miserable and everything. I was happy. I needed a break. So that really wasn't my time. So I really needed 2020, and also needed another break just so I can like calm down and get back to a leveled state. And then what I liked about my break was basically getting back to a level state. However, I didn't like it because one, I realized during my break that I need a schedule to stay somewhat happy. So like during school, I liked that. During college, community college, I like that. So I knew that I wanted to go back to college, mostly for that feeling. My expectations going into my gap year was very high, actually. I wasn't really realistic. That's why I also did not like my my gap year. I think I was like 18, 19 going into my gap year. Yeah, I had a lot of expectations. They were really high. I think I even made a list for myself of what I wanted to do. I forgot entirely what it was about, but I know I wanted to go out more, like go out and do road trips with my sisters and my nephew, and also thought for some reason that I was gonna make friends, even though me being me, I can make online friends, but that doesn't mean they're going to be in my area. Like all my online friends are from Twitter, and they are also I'm not really close with them like that, if I'm being honest. It's just like we're cordial on Twitter, or like I can call them my friends from Twitter, but it's not like, oh, they're gonna come here or I'm gonna come to them. It's not like that. So like that was also something I guess I forgot about, is I can make friends, and I don't know if it's easy for me to make friends, but I can make friends. It's just this piece of hair right here. I can make friends. It's just that they weren't ever like close to me, and then after a while I would stop talking to them because like I said, my mental health was not good. It was trash, and I would ghost people so often during my gap year. Like it was crazy. It was the most I've ever ghosted anyone in my life. I would make a friend, and some of them would be in the state. Actually, I had one who's like just an hour or something away from me, and we were close to the point where she would call me sometimes, but we were talking like every day. We were texting every day basically. And one day, because of me, I got in a really bad place mentally. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna off myself place. It was just, oh, I feel really bad, so I'm just gonna stop talking to everyone, and that included her too. And yeah, and then that's how we grew distant, and now we don't talk anymore. We're still cordial and we're still cool, and she still has my number and all that, and I still have hers. We also have our Snapchats and stuff like that, and we text on there sometimes, but we don't talk like we used to, and that is really sad because it was my fault, you know. And I did that a lot during quarantine. Whenever I did, you know, find somebody that I actually did like, I would get in a bad space, and then I would stop talking, and then guess what happens? No more communication like we used to. For me, my gap year wasn't really all that great, if I'm being honest. It wasn't that great. I did go out a little bit more this year during my gap year, but I wanted to do that last year too. Plus I didn't have a job, which I should have done at the beginning, so I could just save, because I knew I was going to go back to school after a while. Like after like my second or third month, I kind of figured out, oh, this isn't going how I wanted it to go. I should have gotten a job then, and I should have been saving as much money as I could from then, and I probably wouldn't be, you know, rushing and saving as much money as I am now. Also, while trying to buy college dorm stuff, which is, you can't do both. College stuff is so expensive. I've already spent like $200 something, probably even more than that, just buying my necessities and somewhat decorations. Start saving your stuff, or start slowly buying your college stuff months before, so you don't have to do what I did and buy everything in bulk and be broke. And here I go back to my next thing is why I chose to go back to college. It's not like I wasn't gonna go back to college, if I'm being completely honest, but I did notice at the beginning of this year, when I did notice that I was in like kind of depressive runs. Like I was barely getting out of bed, I was barely like taking care of myself, I was barely like eating and whatnot. During that time, I noticed that I wasn't putting in efforts to get a job, and I wasn't putting in efforts to like do things or look into colleges. I wasn't looking into colleges even though I knew my time was slowly coming up. Plus, I think I was just ready to get back into a routine of some sort, and I had the routine here because I was doing the same thing. I would sleep all day basically and be up all night, and you know, I wasn't really doing anything productive with my life. I was just staying in bed, and I wasn't really motivated to do anything. And that is kind of my fault, but also if you're in a rut, how can you force yourself to do something when you don't know what you're trying to force yourself to do? One thing that I was looking into college is if they had like good clubs, mostly LGBT clubs or anything like that, or like African American like histories or something like that, clubs like that. At first I was looking at colleges and stuff out of state. I think I was looking into Georgia. I looked at like 1 or 2 schools in California, immediately dropped that one because I'm not moving to California. And then I was looking at schools in New Jersey. Immediately stopped that. I did find a good school over there. It's a really nice school, but I'm not doing that. And then I looked at schools in New York City. I found one there too that was really good, but it wasn't what I was looking for. Since I was looking out of state, I was really looking at schools that were good with Black people, sort of. I started looking into that when I started looking into schools in North Carolina and South Carolina. I didn't know what I wanted to do at that time. Now I want to be a social worker, but I also want to be in agriculture. So yeah, so I'm trying to double major in both of those. But I did find a school in South Carolina. It's called Wenthrop. I mentioned this in one of like the clips. I did get accepted and I was very excited to go there. Actually, I got accepted in February or early March or something like that. I already paid like the admission fees, and I already applied for housing, and then I also like scheduled my orientation, my virtual orientation. I was ready to go to that school. I was very excited. I was looking every day at like, you know, students that been there. I looked at, you know, on TikTok one day. I don't know what made me, you know, look on TikTok for this. I've never done that before, but I looked on TikTok one day and I was like, you know, let me just look at the school, what's attached to the school's name. And then the first thing I saw was horrible looking dorms. And you know who mostly stays in those horrible looking dorms? Black people. So I seen the little dorm thing before I applied to housing, and I was like, why not just click another one and not get that certain dorm and get another dorm? Like I chose like suites and apartment style dorms. That's what I put on my little housing thing. But a little after that, I even searched up their name on Google, and the first thing I saw was like R-word allegations, or not allegations, but like R-word to one of their students or something from another student on their campus. Right now, I'm not in the process of making the video that this will be in, but I just wanted to include this in here because I don't know. And I will withdraw from withdraw because for some reason it doesn't feel right. Like all schools have like bad things about them, if that makes sense. At the Wenthrop school, I've noticed it was like on TikTok. I went on TikTok and I like put in the school name because I was so excited to be accepted somewhere. But I put in the school name and it showed that black people at that school, let me just give some background. It's a PWI school, but they made it seem like it's so diverse and they are so about equality and diversity. That's why I was really excited, because I was like, oh, I'm gonna, I don't have to really worry about making friends, black people friends, because it's such a diverse school. But when I went on TikTok, it showed me that they don't really treat people of color that well. And also they have this like R-word rape allegation that's like happening right now, and they're not helping the girl at all. It kind of threw me off a bit. I know that every school has their little things, but I don't know if that's where I want to be at. I've been having second thoughts since I've seen that stuff on TikTok. But yeah, I didn't really like the school anymore because of all that, and they weren't really helping the girl with her, that, and they were covering it up basically. And I just didn't feel right going to a school like that, because you don't want to think about the worst things to happen, but what if, so I chose not to go there, and I chose to go to my first option of school, which was Alcorn, and that's in Mississippi where I stay, and that's where I'll be attending. I applied there immediately after you're gonna see when I applied there, because I also have footage of that and stuff. I was looking at other schools. Actually, I was looking at HBCUs, because I wanted to have that experience, and I wanted to say that I went to one of an HBCU. I thought, why not go to an all-black school, like all-black college, and have that experience of being around people that are like me and look like me, and have the same background as me, somewhat, on that ancestral side, we have the same background somewhat. Like, connect more with that, because I feel like I don't know anything about my blackness. If I'm being completely honest, it's kind of sad to say that, but I really don't. That's why I chose Alcorn. Plus, it's a really good school, and my sisters and my family and everyone that I tell that I'm going there, if they all say it's a really good school, and you did you did really good with getting into there and picking out school to go to. The applying process to Alcorn was very easy, actually. The only thing that wasn't so easy is getting in touch with admissions. Admissions are very hard to, get in touch with through email, and also sometimes through calling. But I hear that a lot about a lot of HBCUs, and so I guess I just have to deal with that. I've never had to write an essay to go to anywhere. If I'm being completely honest, I've never applied to a school and have to write an essay like some people do say. Like, I've heard some people say that they have to do, or something like that. I've never had to write an essay. I just apply, put in my information, and give them all the transcripts. And Alcorn, they wanted to know if I had like my MMR certificate, so I gave them all of that, and I was accepted literally even before I put in my MMR certificate. I was really excited when I got accepted into school. I'm still very excited about school and starting to the school. I just kind of feel like, I don't know, like it's not going to be how I think it is. I just feel like it's a different type of vibe than what I thought it was. But when I get there on campus, I feel like I will actually feel the vibe, instead of just looking on a phone and be like, oh, that's different than what I thought it was. I just hope that I love the school all the way through. And if I do end up transferring, I just transfer. It doesn't really matter to me. Okay, so I'm filming on Snapchat. It's really ghetto right now. Like I was saying, I have orientation tomorrow. I'm really excited to go. It's a 3-hour drive, so we're trying to figure out when we should, be packing up and going there, because we have to get there at 7:30 for check-in, But I will be filming as much as I can if I do, because y'all know how I get. But that was the end of this. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you liked it. Leave a comment down below what you want to see from this series and whatnot. I'm trying to figure out how to start my other one that I talked about in my update video, my growth series, but I don't know how to start that as of right now. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. Comment down below some video ideas that you would like to see me do, and I will probably do them. I'll see you guys next time I post. Bye guys.